It was the afternoon of September 19th. Jolene and I had been hunting every day since the 14th, and every day it had either rained or snowed. So this was finally the first nice day that we'd had in about 5 or 6 days. I decided I'd hunt this tree stand that I put up the year before in this little narrow opening between two alfalfa fields.
It's September 19th. I'm set up down in Carla's field. Gotta name this stand. It's at a pitch point between a couple of fields. I got chased off here a couple weeks ago by the farmer cutting the oats. But they're not doing any more cutting. I'm in between two alfalfa fields. I had to scare 3 deer off this field to get to my stand, and as I was setting up, another deer came out. And now there's another one about 100 yards away. The first 4 were whitetail, and the one quite a ways away there is a mule deer. Gonna be pretty tricky to get any sort of shot here because they're coming out right here, and it's on my wrong side. So I don't know. I'll hope for the best. I'll stand up in the last couple hours there, and maybe that'll get me more ready.
As well as having a whitetail doe tag, I also had a mule deer buck tag, and it was these fields down by the McLeod River that we'd definitely seen the most mule deer on, and it's where I was hoping to fill my buck tag. I'd been sitting there a couple hours, and I heard some rustling behind me, and this mule deer doe and a couple of fawns came out. I ended up filming them for probably 5 or 10 minutes, and then I just sort of turned the camera off and I turned my back to them, and 5 minutes later I turned around and looked, and there was a mule deer buck 20 yards from me. By the time I got the camera on, it was about 50 yards, and the wind wasn't right, and I kind of got a little bit of my wind and ended up not really running off scared, but moving to another part of the field. By the end of the night, there was about 10, 12, 13 deer on the field, including that mule deer buck. And I noticed a lot of them were funneling beside the point of an island of timber between the two fields. And I thought to myself, I'm going to put a tree stand up there tomorrow and just see if I can get lucky. It's September 20th. About 4:30, Jolene and I are both hunting down on Carla's property. I just set up this tree stand a couple hours ago in a driving snowstorm. Yesterday was a nice day. We had our only nice day that it didn't rain or snow, and now we're back to snow again. It's supposed to snow for the next 3 days. I saw a nice mule deer buck here last night, and it just never worked out. It was heartbreaking. It's just some bad luck, but every deer I saw last night, and there was probably 20 of them, walked right by this little island that I put the tree stand up on. It's a little island in the middle of 2 big fields. It's got a water hole in it. I know there's nothing bedding in it because we just walked by it, so anything that comes here is going to come out of the trees in front of me here. And probably not till the last half hour. That's when all the deer were coming out. So this never works out when you hang a stand because you saw a deer walk by it and they never come by there again. But who knows? You never know. We saw some deer driving in. I saw some deer driving out a couple hours ago. So hoping things work out. Jolene was set up about 200 yards directly in front of me. She could see deer that were coming toward me that I couldn't see, and vice versa. This was going to play an important role later on in the night. I know there's a lot of hardcore lady hunters out there, and kudos to you, because you gotta be a little bit hardcore if you're gonna sit in a snowstorm for 4 hours on the remote hope that some animal's gonna walk by within bow range. For the other half of winter, Jolene and I are pretty hardcore ice climbers, and you gotta enjoy a certain amount of suffering if you ice climb, the same way you gotta enjoy a certain amount of suffering sitting in a tree stand when it's cold and miserable. like the night before, there was very little activity on the field for the evening. It wasn't until the last 15 minutes of legal light when I got a text for Jolene saying, hey, there's some deer coming toward you. Now, I couldn't see these deer because they were coming from my right, kind of behind me, but I turned around and got my camera ready, and it wasn't 5 seconds later when the deer walked into my frame. Now, it wasn't the mule deer buck I was looking for, but I did have a whitetail doe tag, and I was more than happy to try to fill it. This view from Jolene's camera gives you an idea just how hard it was snowing. From Jolene's view, you can just see the lighted knock coming down from the tree. Well, I don't have much light left here, but it worked out. Unbelievably. I put this stand up today, and because deer were funneling by here, and whitetail doe came by and gave me a, I don't know, not very far, 15-yard shot. I'm not sure. I hit her in the spine, I think. Had to put another arrow in her, but anyway, got the job done. It's because of my war paint here. That's my blood. Seems like it worked. I didn't think it was going to work because they're downwind of me, but I don't know. This snow and the ozonics and my blood, maybe it all helped. And Jolene's just in the tree like 200 yards, and she saw the whole thing, so anyway, I better get down and out in the snowstorm here and get this deer back. Okay, well, my plan came together. I put that tree stand up 3 hours ago, anyway, around 2 o'clock, and because deer were coming by there last night, and Jolene was like 300 yards away giving me the play-by-play. I didn't really see this deer until it was right on top of me, but I knew it was coming, and just gave me a shot. I had to stop her, and I think she might have ducked a little bit because I spine shot her. And that's just the trouble when you have to stop them. They're kind of on alert looking at you. But anyway, didn't go far.
I just told them to be ready.
Yeah, it was teamwork. It was teamwork.
Awesome.
Yep. It's snowing like crazy.
Yep.
Still summer.
September 20th.
Okay, let's go get the truck.
Okay.
Well, the last time we cheered Coronas was 2013.
You just ran over your bow.
Yep.
This is a better night.
We just got a doe on Carla's field, which is the first animal we've ever killed on that land.
Mm-hmm. I've been hunting it for, well, since 2013.
14, yeah. But, and it was dark, and we were getting it loaded into the truck, and I could hear Jolene talking.
So Aaron was looking for the tarp, and I was trying to describe to him where it was, and then I heard this voice say, "What are you guys doing?" And I looked over with my headlamp and I didn't see anything, and then I just heard this voice again saying, "What are you guys doing?" And out of the dark appeared a man dressed in black with no headlamps, and he wanted to know what we were doing. And it was Carla's husband, Jason, who we've never met before. And he didn't realize what part of the land that we were hunting on exactly. And when he came over, when he saw us driving his truck through the field, and we learned that he goes for jogs in the dark without headlamp on. And he scared the living daylights out of me.
I can't even walk in the light. He's jogging in the dark.
But we met him.
Yeah, it's very nice. And texted Carla, and we're gonna bring some meet over there next weekend.
Good teamwork.
Yep, it was good teamwork.